Triple E EDC back again with another knife video. So this is the Civivi Elementum fixed blade. There are two variations of this. There is a D2 version with a black blade and flat G10 handles. This is a contoured version with 10CR15 CO MOV steel, and a satin version with the red accents. And we'll get into more of those later. Let's do some size comparisons real quick. You can see this isn't your daddy's Elementum here, because this is actually a pretty big blade. This is a PM2, this is a Para 3, and let's go ahead and bring this out. This is a tactile rock wall. Why am I showing this? Because a lot of people don't have it as a size comparison. I'm showing this because this is the same size as an Elementum. Almost exactly the same size as an Elementum. So this just goes to show you the difference in size between the fixed blade Elementum and the folding knife Elementum. So that's why I'm showing you guys that one. Here's a Spyderco Delica. Here's a Benchmade Griptilian. You can see this is a fairly large knife, as I said, but it is a fixed blade, so as far as fixed blades go, it's not overly big. Let's go ahead and do some fixed blades here. Bradford Guardian 3, Bark River Aurora, Spyderco Mule, and how about the Bark River Gunny Scandi? Right, so that should be some good size comparisons for you. And let's go ahead and talk about the knife. By the way, if you want to purchase one of these, I'm going to link it to Amazon below if I remember. I normally don't recommend shopping on Amazon. I normally recommend shopping on from a knife retailer. DLT Trading is my go-to. I work with them specifically with an affiliate link. They don't carry Civivis, so I'm going to recommend you check out on Amazon here, just because they tend to have better pricing on some of this stuff. But you know, Blade HQ and a couple of other Knife Choy they're gonna have Civivis. They should have the fixed blade Elementums as well. In any event, these are really, really nice for the price. The regular one is $65. This one is $85. So $65 for a D2 fixed blade is a great entry in its class. And there's a couple of other competitors which we'll try to talk about later. But as far as just what's out there, it's actually a really good deal. The $85 one, this one, I think is the better deal. It is more expensive, but on a fixed blade, I really think contoured handles are important. And this one has the contoured handles, and it has a steel upgrade. So the other one has D2, as I said, which is adequate, but this one has essentially Chinese VG10. So 10CR15 MOV, or CO MOV, is Chinese G10, basically. I mean, it's Chinese VG10, basically. VG10 is a Japanese steel. And so this is their equivalent, and VG10 has been used for years on the Delica and the like, and it is not great at any one thing. It is not bad at any one thing. It's middling. It's middling in all of the qualities of steel, but because it's middling in all the qualities of steel, it is usually a great choice for a knife that's if you're not going into the premium steels, because you're just getting a well-rounded steel. So again, this is VG10, Chinese VG10, essentially. On this knife, and it's performed pretty well. It has a hollow grind here, and the hollow grind is pretty excellent. This will cut through cardboard and the like very easily. I've done zip ties. I've done some other things on this. No chipping or anything from the zip ties. It's done fairly well, I have to say. I haven't gone nuts with it, meaning I haven't tried to hard use it, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend hard using this this knife. It's just not I don't know that it's necessarily built for that. It does have a decent stock on it. I mean, let's look at the Bradford Guardian, for example, right? It has approximately the same stock as a Bradford Guardian, so it's going to be decent in that regard. But that hollow grind makes the edge fairly thin, and so I would just be careful with the edge when you're dealing with harder use tasks. Usually on a fixed blade, you're going to get a convex or a V grind because when you're hard using something, you don't want to kill the edge. You're using a fixed blade most of the time because you want to be able to torque things, and a hollow grind is generally not the best choice. But on an EDC fixed blade like this, I actually think it's a good choice. Just be aware it's not used for hard, or I wouldn't use it for hard use. The next thing on this is the ergonomics. Like I said, because it's contoured, the ergonomics are really good. I mean, I'm talking like 8.5 out of 10, maybe even approaching a 9 out of 10. These are really good ergonomics on this. Now, that being said, I will get to another issue with the ergonomics later, but these are the ergonomics are just pretty excellent, as is on the knife. The next thing on this is the blade shape. The blade shape in general is good. It's a good drop point blade. You have a nice swedge on top. As I said, you have that hollow grind, so good to go there. All right. Next is the, I think that's pretty much it for, I'll say the materials. I'm sorry. I'll go ahead and say the materials on this are good. The G10. Check out the finishing on the G10. Nice red accents. As I said, the D2 one is going to have flat scales and textured G10. That's okay. It's going to work for most tasks. But again, that contouring is really what I'm going to recommend here. So let's talk about the bad on this, because there is some bad. First of all, I mean, I don't know that it's necessarily bad, but I don't know that the lanyard is necessary that it comes with. It's very long, and look, you can easily take it off by just pulling this off, so it's not that big of a deal. But it's just very long and kind of unnecessary. I left it on just because I'm testing out the knife, and I decided to include it as part of a giveaway. But it is just fairly long. But because you can just take it off, if you don't like it, it's not too bad, and the location of the lanyard hole isn't a problem. It's hidden. I love the fact that it's hidden, actually. Let's talk about what is the problem with ergonomics that I mentioned earlier, which is this is sort of a missed opportunity for a choke-up choil. Does this work as a choke-up? Yes, it does work as a choke-up. It probably, if they took a little bit more, like just widen that a little bit, you don't even need a full choil, but just give your finger a little bit to slide up so that you're not sort of on this flat part here. I think it would have been a little bit better, but it does work as is, as a choil, and you can lock in, and it's completely locked in. So it's not that much of a bad thing, but it's enough of a bad thing that I'm going to be a little bit nitpicky about it, because I think it's a missed opportunity to make it a little bit more rounded. I know they were trying to preserve, I guess, some of the identity of the Elementum as a flipper, but I honestly think that what they did was they used some design elements from the Elementum in a fixed blade in order to just play off the Elementum's popularity. I don't think they necessarily, I think they set out to make a fixed blade and then decided to try to sell it with marketing by incorporating the Elementum elements into it. I don't think they sat there and said, hey, let's make the Elementum a fixed blade. Could I be wrong? Yeah, I could be wrong. Maybe they actually did do that. But honestly, it feels like a little bit of a marketing ploy with that fake flipper tab, right? So that's not good. Next is the sheath. The sheath is kind of cheap, but I guess what are you expecting for the price? It is a leather sheath, but I don't know what kind of leather. It kind of feels like it might be pretty cheap leather. So this is sort of a look in at what the sheath is. Stitching on it is okay. It's not great, but it's okay. And like I said, the leather is kind of cheap. What I don't like about it is the location of this, right? Because every time you're putting away this knife and pulling it out, you run the risk of slicing this off. And you slice this off, now you have, well, what happens when you slice this off? Now you have no retention for this knife. So I don't love the way they designed the sheath, because part of the design of the sheath is exposing this strap to being cut off. Are there other sheaths that do the same thing? Yeah, but a lot of times sheaths will design this flap to be far enough away that it's not going to get cut when it gets pulled. Is this far enough away? Sometimes, not all the time. I feel like I'm going to be cutting it more often than I should. So that is something to be aware of here as well. I think that's pretty much it for my good and the bad over here on this knife. So do I recommend this knife? What's my final conclusions? I do recommend the knife overall, but as I said, it is a hollow grind. This is a hollow grind fixed blade. It's not my preference for hard use. If you're wanting a hard use knife, I mean, go with something with a convex grind. This is a Bark River Aurora. It has thick handles and a thick stock, right? You're going to want to use something that is fairly thick. Now, this is a lot pricier, obviously, but you can find some fixed blades that have Mora Knives, right? Mora Knives has some cheaper fixed blades, and you're going to get something that is a lot stouter. So if you're looking for something that's hard use, I don't necessarily recommend this. I would recommend in this price range more like a Mora. But if you are looking for something that is like just an EDC friendly fixed blade, and you're only going to do sort of EDC tests, you're not going to do hard tests with it, yeah, this thing's great. It's everything you would expect from Civivi in a fixed blade is essentially what you're looking at. And they did a great job with the contouring of these handles. I keep talking about the contouring of the handles, but really it's one of the best features of the knife, and it's something that you don't see in this price range a lot. What you see in this price range a lot is those flat scales that they have on the other version, or other things like that. And it's just it just makes this a competitive knife. So do I recommend it? Yes, but I'm going to recommend it only for certain uses. If you are a hard user of your knife and you're planning on torquing it and and abusing the edge, frankly, I wouldn't recommend this knife. So those are my 2 cents here. If you guys have any comments, go ahead and drop them below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Thank you guys for watching.